Hello and happy Tuesday. Alright, so if you're new to my YouTube channel, I want to say hello and welcome. My name is Amber Stewart, also known as Jenny Jaguar, and I'm the owner of the Stew Project, where I help people maximize their living potential by simply taking emphasis on wellness. And I want to talk about resistance because we oftentimes resist the thing that will lead us to exactly what we want. And I know when it comes to our health, we may resist eating right and exercising consistently and doing all the things that we know we're supposed to do, because I know sometimes we can be getting ready to eat something like, I know I shouldn't eat this, but it's here, let me just go and hurry up and finish it to get it out the way, then I'll start over. But it's like we know that there is a benefit to stopping this thing, but for whatever reason we keep going back to our same old habits. And there could be a lot of reasons. One, just for psychologically speaking, we are creatures of habit, so we always tend to go back to the things that are comfort to us. And even though it's uncomfortable, we may find more comfort in keeping that same habit instead of stepping into the fear of unknown, of something else, because we don't know, like, okay, so if we switch to this new habit, will it be as comforting as it was before, as the other thing? Were there emotional ties to that habit that brought you comfort? So the purpose of me talking about this topic was because I know there may be instances where we could be resisting leaving a job, no matter how much we hate it, how much we are uncomfortable there. We just maybe just like, I know I need to find something else, but if I just stay a little bit longer, then I'll get the bonus. Or if I just wait until so-and-so leaves and retires, then I can enjoy it. And so we could be resisting doing a certain thing, but something happens that forces us to do it anyway. Getting a new car, because I know there is an individual that was saying, and so this is another thing that can get us into these resistant things, is because there is a friend of mine who was talking about, yeah, you know, I want to get a new car, I'm thinking about getting a new car, blah, blah, blah. I kept talking about a new car. And so he kept going back and forth because it's like, it's something that he really wanted, but he was resisting getting a new car simply because he was like, well, my current car drives good, and so there's no real need for it. But he had did the math on another car and realized, like, oh, if he got this one, he would save so much more in gas because it's electric and blah, 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 blah. But he was still like trying to stay in that comfort zone. And so what ended up happening was, like, 4 or 5 months down the road, he ended up getting a issue with this car that would cost about $2,000. Now, with this, he's like, whew, my car has to get fixed. It's about $2,000, but I don't know, because, like, I could just fix the car or I can get a new car. So I'm kind of in a debate about that. And so it would have been a lot easier for them to say, oh my gosh, this is the perfect opportunity for me to get a new car. Because in his previous scenario, when he had the option to do that, one of his first cars, when he had the option to do that with his first car, he ended up getting a brand new car instead of fixing his old one. And so it's funny how this cycle came back, and so he's still resisting. And so what sometimes happens is that when the thing we have been resisting finally comes, we may find ourselves realizing, like, whoa, this is so much better than I thought it was. Like, why was I afraid at first? Like, I have no idea. Like, I'm so glad this tower moment or tragedy happened, because now I can really enjoy this thing that I've been resisting for so long. So if you find yourself in one of these moments where you find yourself resisting, here are a few things that can help you overcome this resistance to take action. One, I believe it's important to catch yourself and recognize what you are resisting and why. Because oftentimes we just allow these emotions to just fill us up and consume us and overwhelm us, so we turn to either Netflix and chill, not busy time, but enjoying time with our friends and families to distract ourselves from the issues that we have internally, or the big changes that need to happen, but we are afraid of initiating. 2, practice mindfulness. Just sit with your thoughts and sit with those emotions and really question yourself, like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling anxious about this decision? And then just go into questioning yourself, like I mentioned earlier, like, what benefits will I gain from taking this step forward? What benefits would I gain if I stay the same place here? So, I know I did the analogy for a job, but this can go with anything like relationships, changing your hair color, trying a new exercise, moving, anything that you could be resisting. So we can find ourselves resisting change because we don't want to repeat old patterns. We don't want to repeat old mistakes. And typically these things happen because we need to replay that scenario so we can change, so we can make a better decision this time. And so sometimes we get afraid of making that mistake again because maybe it's traumatic. And if you don't know anything about life will put you back in certain scenarios so you can learn the lesson. And I know it was a movie I was watching the other day, and they had said you have to, I can't remember the quote exactly, but it was that you have to revisit the scenario in order to heal and move from it, which is why a lot of people go to therapy, because like it can be tough to even talk about things of the past. But therapy is good, but some people, they don't like talking to other people about their problems, which is why I'm a coach and I coach people on how to train their brain to heal themselves, essentially. But anywho, another thing that you can do to get yourself out of this resistance is number 3, exercise. So when you exercise, not only are you moving your circulatory system, getting fresh oxygen to your muscles, moving that lymphatic system to get the waste out, sweating out all the toxins, but you are also activating your mind-body connection to your spirit. Because when you are going through exercise, it is a way to honor your body. And the better your body is, the healthier your body is, the stronger that mind-body-spirit connection. There's a lot of different things. So depending on where you see the resistance at, you can go through my purpose behind movement exercise ideas. So, if you're being resistant on not being more lenient and flexible, like, everything has to be a certain type of way, which is another reason why we can be resisting things, because the change that is about to take place is not the change that we were expecting. So this is another reason why we can resist it. But if you are being resistant because you want everything a certain way and you're rigid and you don't want to change your mind and be open to different possibilities, then you can do certain exercises like flexibility, mobility, yoga, even Pilates. But if you're feeling weak and you don't know if you can handle, so say you're in a comfortable job and you are afraid of moving to a different career path because you don't know if you have the strength to start all over again. And believe me, it's hard. It's not the best thing in the world. But then you would benefit from strength exercise. And cardio, I like cardio just because it gives me a chance to just do something with my body and move while thinking stuff in my brain. I like is spin, because I like to put my music on a random playlist or an upbeat playlist of like some of my favorite songs, and while I'm listening to it during the cardio or the spin class, or not spin class because I do it by myself. One of the benefits of learning, of teaching every group fitness class possible. But anywho, when I do spin, I listen to the different music, and sometimes the lyrics speak out to me, and it helps give me insight on shifting my mindset to be more positive towards the direction that I want to go to. And what is it? If you have trouble in a situation and you're resisting change because you don't have the strength to fight for yourself or to stand up for yourself, then, you know, taking a kickboxing class or taekwondo, capoeira, you know, any of those, boxing, any of those type of fitness classes like that, that'll help get your strength and your courage up, which is all necessary. So exercise is definitely something that can help you combat that resistance that you're experiencing. Now, past the resistance to change is to surround yourself with loved ones and do things that bring joy and happiness, because when you are in the right environment, when you feel loved and appreciated and safe, then the topic, when it comes to you, then you are possibly able to shift your perspective about the situation. So I know when it came time for me to leave Georgia and move to California, I know I had a lot of resistance doing that, because one, I had a difficult time just accepting, like, okay, I'm making a big move, I'm doing this all on my own, there'll be nobody there to say, no support system essentially. And so that was something that I was resisting. Us as humans, we have a negativity bias and we also have a confirmation bias. So what that means is, negativity bias, we are prone to look out for the negative things, whereas in the confirmation bias, if we have that negative thought, we tend to look for confirmation of that negative thought. So when you find yourself constantly playing on that negativity, confirmation biases, those two biases, try to oppose that and do a positivity bias. So say, okay, this is negative, how can I flip this? What can be the positive? And this is where the emotional guidance scale comes in, because it helps you to shift your emotions and see where you are. Because when you put a name on your emotions, it's easy to separate them from who you are and what you're going through. It's like, oh, okay, emotions are just temporary, so I can change this. And so when you change your emotions, you change your life and you change the trajectory of your future, your present and future. So this is why the emotional guidance scale helps. So those are just a few ways that you can overcome that resistance to change, because life is going to move you on your path whether you want to or not. So you can either go willingly or let life take you by force. So if you find yourself in resistance to change, or if you are making excuses or pushing things back or procrastinating certain things because you are afraid to make those changes, just recognize that the thing that you resist is mostly the thing that is keeping you from your breakthroughs. And the sooner, sorry, it's really late, but the sooner you stop resisting and allow things to fall into place and allow things to come to you, because we attract, us as human beings, we are master attractors. Like, we have the Spirit of God within us. So even when God was creating the world and governing over us back in the Bible, he wasn't chasing people down. He was giving commands. He was talking. He was speaking his words. His thoughts created the actions. And so in the same sense, we have to wind ourselves up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So if you need help, my Stress Alchemy course can help you learn how to live the healthier, happier life that you deserve. So if you want more information about the Stress Alchemy course, just go to thestewproject.com. And I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you later.